Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, honest people, honest am here, the creator and writer of the Honestly Sis newsletter, a bi-weekly newsletter geared towards millennials who are truly trying to get their shit together, and I'm here for another daily motivation. Now, y'all, I'm literally doing this at 11 o'clock at night. I probably shouldn't be doing it because I'm supposed to be getting ready to go, get ready to go to the airport at like 2 o'clock in the morning. But like when I got out the shower, when I tell y'all, I was just like all of a sudden got like this urge, like, oh my God, I have to do a video. Because I had something that's happened in my personal life. And I just feel like it's something, I feel like it's not just something that's happening to me, but I feel like it's going to be happening to all of us. And what I want to say is before we even get into the cards is that I feel like God is using situations of chaos, of inconvenience, of disruption to help us, to not only test us, and test is bad, but not to test us, but to help us ascend. God is using difficult situations to help us ascend, not only in our mental body, but in our physical body. I'm gonna just shut up because you probably was like, what? Angel number 120. So let's just go to the cards and hopefully what I'm talking about will come out. Dear God, guardian angels, and ancestors, what information do you deem worthy for us to hear at this time? Please deliver these messages to me and through me. Allow no room for doubt or confusion in me or the viewers' mind. All right. And I love it. The first two cards that came out, oh my God. You are not going to believe this. The first two cards that came out is simplicity and contentment. I actually really, really love these two cards because what God is just saying to us is to take a simple approach to life and be content in what we have today. So what happened to me today was I was planning on going on my very first like super international trip. And my flight was at 6:15 in the morning. I thought that as long as I always have this thing, like if I start going to the airport within 2 hours, I'll be fine. But come to find out, I got to the airport too late. I didn't have this registration. And so I couldn't get on my flight and I had to be rebooked till tomorrow. So today, whatever. And like as it was happening in my physical body, I wasn't like panicky. I didn't even cry. Like I was just more so like, damn, like, like I felt more silly than anything. And then like the flight attendant, like the lady that was working behind the ticket booth was like being really nasty and really rude. And like, I didn't like, get super aggressive or anything. And long story short, by the end of it, I got everything I needed and I got home and I was just like, you know what? I'm kind of happy that I didn't, like, I'm kind of happy that I had this whole day to myself because what I didn't tell y'all is that I fell earlier this week and I really hurt my foot. And so, the day before my trip, I was like running around a lot. And so I really didn't get to rest my foot. And so as I was walking in the airport, I'm kind of walking with a limp. My foot is hurting. But like now I got the chance to just sit at home. I like slept all day and like my foot feels so much better. And so it's like, even though I was just inconvenienced and, technically I should be mad and my trip was ruined, I don't feel that way. I really feel like everything is happening as it should be. And I'm just content in what's happening. And I feel like remember when I was trying to start the message before, that's what's happening right now. God is using situations of chaos and confusion for you to figure out who you really are on the inside. In the Conversations with God books, there's a section that says that the entire purpose of, life and the human experience is so that we can figure out or we can define who we are. That's why there is no such thing as right or wrong. It's all about what's right or wrong to you. You are your God source. You are, your authority center, rather. And so this situation, I could have looked at the situation and used it to be like, oh, I'm horrible, I'm stupid, I gotta stop doing this. And I literally was just like, it's a learning experience. Like, I feel bad, I'm inconvenienced, but I talked to my friend. He was like, hey, it's cool. Like, we're still gonna do everything that you wanted to do. This was actually an extra day. So it was like, it's like, what is the simpler approach, I feel? When things are inconvenienced, it's very easy for you to beat yourself up. But honestly, is that the best thing for you? Is that the simpler thing for you, or would the simplest thing to be to just be like, oh well, it happened, let's move on, right? Angel number 502. So anyways, with this message of simplicity and contentment, I just feel like what God is saying is that when any inconvenience come your way, just try to find a way to be okay. No matter what. We all know, I'm going to go into our law of attraction cards, like we all know that, we all know that everything is happening for our good. And so who knows, like, why God didn't want me to get to that country today versus tomorrow. It's like the simpler approach is to be like, oh, well, it wasn't meant for me. Everything is happening for a reason, and to keep myself in a high vibration. And I feel like when you do that, you're not only ascending, because remember I told y'all, like, the creation happens in 3 steps. It happens first in the thoughts you think, it happens in the words you speak, and then the actions that you take. And so I feel like we have all been, we've been working on our mindset. We've been working on the stories that we tell ourselves. Now we're in the embodiment stage. Now we're where God is asking us, okay, so who are you really? Yeah, I know you say you think you this person, you speak about being this person, but are you really this person in the world? And so there's going to be situations and inconveniences that are going to come up to ask you and to test you to be like, okay, so are you really that girl? And today I found out, like, I really am that girl. Like, I had something that I know 2 years from now, and the reason why I know that, I'm going to tell y'all something that I promise to never tell anybody. Angel number 634. A couple of years ago, Dave Chappelle, like, when he first came back out, he did 2 shows. Better. Low key, this is a great example. Dave Chappelle had did two shows in Detroit, right? And me and my boyfriend at the time, I had bought us tickets to go see Dave Chappelle. It ended up being the same weekend of his sister's birthday, and so there was like a whole bunch of like back and forth, and me and him arguing, and it just, long story short, I bought tickets for the Friday show, but because of us like talking about it so much, we end up going to the Saturday show, and of course, we you can't get in because we didn't have the right ticket. So I bought these tickets, didn't go, completely missed the tour day. And guess what? That Friday show, that was the show that Dave Chappelle bombed. That was the show that Dave Chappelle, that's on Big Sean album, that was the show that Dave Chappelle bombed. And so I say that to say, Angel number 742, I love Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle is up there with JB for me, right? That would have been my first time seeing Dave Chappelle live, and he would have bombed. Like, how would I have felt inside? Like, fuck, I honestly feel like, God saved me. Like, yeah, I wasted my money and blah, 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 and it was a big inconvenience, but at the end of the day, even if I would have went to that show, Dave wasn't himself. So it didn't really make a difference if I would have made it to the show or not, right? So the simpler approach is to be like, it is what it is. Angel number 816. Everything happens as it should be. Same thing with this trip. I was supposed to be there. I was supposed to be there Thursday. I didn't get there on time. Now I have to come in Friday. I can be mad. I can beat myself up. I can call myself an idiot. All this stuff. But instead I was like, oh, okay, this was a mistake. I bet you I'd never make this mistake again. This is my first time doing a big international trip. Now I know moving forward. Okay? That's the simpler approach, and I'm content. My energy is fine. But let's just get a tool to see what this is all about. Simplicity, contentment. God, clarify this message of simplicity and contentment. What are you trying to get us to understand about handling inconveniences with ease? How do we... Oh, okay. And that's what God is saying. I say test, but it's not test in the way that you think it's a test. It's okay, like I was saying, because the creation happens in 3 steps, I feel like the universe gives you like these 3 chances, these three times to be like, okay, who are you? Who are you really? Who are you really? And once you keep having those same actions that align with who you ultimately want to be, being the high priestess of your life, you know, mentally, you know, be taking the simpler approach, remaining content no matter what's happening, then your life will naturally, your life will naturally ascend. You will go to all of those places that you want to be. I think that this is what God is teaching us. This is how you change your reality. You change your reality not just by doing the mental work, just not, you know, not by just working on your mindset, not just working on the stories you tell, but again, the embodiment. And this is where we are. This is where God is asking us to be. If you've been on this channel for a while, or even if you just happen to, you know, just get to this channel, hey, shout out to the new subscribers. Welcome to the family. Anyways, but even if you just so happen to get here, I truly feel that this is where you are. I feel like you've done the work. You've done, if this video somehow end up in your feed, you've done the work, you're healed, you worked on your mindset, you worked on the stories that you tell yourself. Now God is saying you have to put that in action. You have to actually be the high priestess of your life, meaning that when inconveniences happen in your life, when things don't go your way, you still have to be okay no matter what. Because that's the alchemist, right? What I say all the time, in order to be the alchemist of our lives, we don't need life to be perfect, right? Because we are perfect within, okay? All right, look, and it's not my role to make others happy. I'm going to keep going. No, God say, no, this is our card. It is not my role to make others happy. It is your role to keep yourself in balance. Angel number 1059. It is your role to keep yourself in balance. When you pay attention to how you feel and practice self-improving thoughts that align with who you really are, remember I started off saying that, you will offer an example of those thriving that will be of tremendous value to you. Let me read this over because I got excited. It is not your role to make others happy. It is your role to keep yourself in balance. When you pay attention to how you feel and practice self-empowering thoughts that align with who you really are, you will offer an example of thriving that will be of tremendous value to those who have the benefit of observing you. You cannot get poor enough to help poor people thrive or sick enough to help sick people get well. You can only uplift from your place of enlightenment. This is the simpler approach. The simpler approach is you only got to worry about you. It's not selfish to take care of yourself. It's not selfish to make sure that you keep your energy right. When I was telling you guys earlier, I could feel that lady, like she was, because I said something like, oh, well, I didn't know that I had to fill out this paperwork. And she's like, well, it's the passenger jobs to know all the information that they need to go into the company. Look, it's the passenger, and this is a white lady, so she ain't had no, you know, it was none of these neck rolls. It's the passenger job to know what information they need in order to enter another country. And I'm just like, okay, bitch, this is what I could have been like, okay, bitch, this is my first time traveling. But I was just like, okay, well, this is my first time doing a real international trip outside of Jamaica. So my apologies. But it was just like, she just had this nasty attitude. And like in that interaction, I could see that she get off on that type of shit. Like there are just certain people in the world who gets off on making people feel bad, making people feel like shit. And I refused to give her that. And I didn't feel it in my body. I refused. I was just like, girl, so what? Like, are you going to rebook my flight? And she was just like so nasty. She's like, well, you have to do the application before we can rebook your information. And so I go off on the side and I'm like, look, you know, I'm starting to do the application. And like, one of the first questions is, what is your flight information? So I'm like, bitch, you know, so I go back into here and I just go to a whole nother lady. I wait and get to a whole nother lady and had a whole nother experience. She just took my flight information. She's like, oh, just make sure you're here earlier. Got me on the next flight, same time, and was like, just please get to the airport earlier tomorrow. Angel number 1333. Brand new experience. I left out that airport head held high, no tears in my eyes. When I was leaving the parking deck, the lady was just like, oh, I was like, she's like, how are you doing? I was like, I hope I have a better day. And like, she was just, you know, she saw I only was there, I only had to pay $3. And she was like, well, you know what? That big old smile of yours is going to, you know, it made my day better. And I'm sure you're going to have a better day. And it's like, again, I pride myself on being the type of person that don't just spew out my negativity. You know, like if I'm having a shitty day, I don't walk around like it. I don't make everybody have a shitty day because I believe in energy. And that lady, angel number 1414, like I don't know her from a can of paint, but I'm sure like she could be like, damn, like this girl just missed the flight, or this girl, you know, couldn't go on her trip. but she still's happy. Like, she still had a smile on her face. She still didn't allow that to just like ruin her. Who knows what that would do for that lady? Who knows what my, seeing me like that do for her? Or even for, even for like my brother. I was like, hey, I learned something that you don't even have to know. I just go, it's just, God is just trying to get you to understand that this thing about who you are and like who you're trying to be, it's an internal thing that has nothing to do with the outside world, but it's all about you. And there's going to be situations that are going to come up where people try to project or people try to shake who you are, but it's your job to remain you at your core. And if that don't make other people happy, or if that make people feel a certain type of way, that's not your problem. You have to just take care of yourself. You just have to take the simpler approach is to take care of yourself and make sure that your vibration is okay at all times. All right. Anyways, underneath this is, I am the attractor of my every experience. And this is why we know, this card didn't come up, but we know that, I can have money and freedom. And remember, in that message of I can have money and freedom, the other card that was associated with that was my attention to unwanted attracts more unwanted. So I could have came home, angel number 1537, kept here sulking, being mad, blah, blah, blah. I could have completely shifted my whole energy to my trip. I could have like changed all of my experiences because of the energy that I decided to be in today. But because I came home, I rested, I decided to be like, oh, well, I wasn't supposed to be on that trip there. Who knows what's going to happen? I honestly was just thinking like, you know what? I may meet my husband on this trip. Like, who knows where I'm going to meet at the airport? Or who knows, like, why God was like, oh, no, I need to have her in Miami at this time on this day instead of here. Who knows? But I know that the simpler approach was just to make sure that I didn't take on beating myself up. I just took, our message of play. And thank you so much for that comment, because I was thinking about that. Like, it's not that big of a deal. And so often when inconveniences happen in our life, we get so fucking mad and we just want to yell at people and we want to, beat ourselves. Oh, I should have fucking knew. I should have did. Oh, well, it happened. Like, there's nothing you can do from the past. It is what it is. Move on. And I'm saying this as somebody who missed an international flight. Anyways, you are meant to live an expansive, exhilarating, good feeling experience. It was your plan when you made the decision to become focused in your physical body in this time-space reality. You were born knowing that you are a powerful being and that you are good. That you are the creator of your experience, and that the law of attraction, the essence of that which is like upon itself drawn, is the basis of the universe, and you knew it will serve you well. And so it has. And so this is God is saying, this is the contentment you should have. If you know who you really are on the inside, if you really truly feel like you're the high priestess, right? And mind you, I don't know about y'all, but this is why I always say, if you're on this channel and you watch these videos, like, please make sure you have a tarot deck, because you can start reading your own energy. But of course, as soon as I came home, I pulled out my tarot cards. I'm like, what is this energy? And this was underneath it. It's the high priestess. It's like, are you really, really incorporating? Are you really integrating all of those lessons you're learning? Guys, I tell y'all all this time, we're not on these fucking healing journeys just to be like Gandhi and to be like, oh, I'm the smartest motherfucker on the internet. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, nobody cares about shit like that. We are here to actually live a life, to live an exciting experience. And so what God is saying is that we can do that. And it's not because we need everything perfect. We do that by, when shit don't go our way, we stay okay. We keep our balance. We keep our energy high. We know it's not our role to make other people happy. We take the most simpler approach. We forgive ourselves. We don't take life so serious. We have contentment. And when we do that, we're able to easily bring in all of those experiences that we want, because we're doing it internal. I was watching Monique Mama Ruffin. I got a new person. I love God. Let me just do a little sidebar. Angel number 1855. For my girls who have been on this journey and you feel like, oh, I don't have a mentor, I don't have somebody in my life to, teach me this stuff. I have never had somebody to teach me this stuff. Never had a physical person come into my life and teach me this stuff. But digitally, God will bring you sisters, soul sisters, to teach you stuff. I had Nicole Bitchie teach me stuff. I had I'm sorry, Nicole. Nicole Kane teaching me stuff. After her, I evolved from Nicole to Mike Leak. After I was with my leak for a while, my leak led me to a friend. I was under friend for a while, and friend led me to Miriam. I was under Miriam for a while, and now you see what I'm saying. And then I think I ended up finding Debbie. And so it's like God will. You don't have to have physical people in your experience. It's just because if you want to learn something, if you really truly want to cultivate yourself, God will bring those people in, and they don't have to be people you see day to day. It can be these digital people. They could be your digital soul sisters. And so I have this new lady coming in, and her name is Mama Moon. And it's so funny because remember, if y'all know, this time last year, I told y'all that God is getting us to get back to the basics of as above, so below. And so it was like God was really trying to get me to understand the moon cycles and working with the moon. And so this lady comes into my life, and she's all about learning how to use that moon magic in your life. And so it's like I went off on a tangent, but I was on her video, and she was talking about the masculine and the feminine way of being, and she said something that was so profound, and I've never heard it this way. The masculine way is the external, right? It's when you think, which we've heard this on the channel. I've channeled that before. It's the action part. It's when you think you have to do something. And we know I can have money and freedom too. If you feel like you only can have money by doing it, you can only get money by doing it, right? That's the masculine way of being. But then Monique was saying the feminine way is doing everything internal, which means that you worry about your vibration, you worry about the stories you tell, all of that stuff, and then you attract all the experiences to you, right? And so if you know you are the high priestess, no matter if something is going right or wrong, our power as powerful beings, as spiritual beings, is that in that moment we can be like, we can stop that negative attraction and say, thank you for this experience, but I choose to have something different. I choose to look at this for my greater benefit at all times. And I had literally the 3 cards that I pulled, and I wish I would have kept them up. I put the Justice, 5 of Cups, and the 2 of Pentacles. The Justice card talks all about seeing the truth of yourself, and I always read it about like being this time of like weighing your trial, weighing your pros and cons. But really, the Justice, which God is saying, is who are you really? Who do you really believe you are? The 5 of Cups is letting go of those attitudes and those beliefs that are no longer serving you. And the 2 of Pentacles is telling you that every single time, in order to become that person you have in your mind, you have to do that process. You always have to weigh your pros and cons and ask for yourself, what is the best decision for me? And then as the high priestess, you would attract a new experience. This is how we become the magician. Right now. And that's what Monique was saying. I'm going to link her information down below, but she was talking about how she's learning how to literally, manipulate her reality in real time. And y'all can say that this is some magic voodoo shit, but I have seen it happen. And so it's happening quicker. We're evolving quicker as a society. And so that's why God is saying we have to use these moments of inconveniences we have to use these moments as inconveniences, as an opportunity to show who we really are. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm gonna leave a message there because I don't want it to get too long. I'm actually gonna just end this message with a we're gonna end it with a affirmation card. What's the affirmation card that we can use? Dear God, guardian angels, what is the affirmation card that we can use as we go through this period of becoming a high priestess of our life? God, clarify this message of simplicity, contentment. It is not my role to make others happy. I am the attractor of my every experience. How can we really ground into our high priestess energy and actively recreate our reality, God? How can we just keep ourselves balanced and content in all ways and take the simple approach? In God's name I pray, Ashe. Oh my God. And see, okay. I'm sorry. I'm having a moment. So I was literally going to just do this message sitting in my bed, but like it just didn't feel right. And I had like pulled all of these cards before, and this was the affirmation card I had pulled. So this is just letting me know that God really, really believes this. This is really happening right now. The card that came out is I am whole. I am perfectly created. I am a wonderfully unique individual. Every lesson I have learned, every risk I have taken, and every achievement I have made contribute to who I am, and because of that, I am whole. This is why God is saying, this is why you have to be content. This is why God is asking you to become the high priestess of your life. Like, remember, the purpose of the healing journey is not to change ourselves, but to actually remove the layers of all the false programming that people have told us that we are. It's to get to the truth of who we are. That's the simpler approach, right? It's to just get to the truth of who we are. And so whenever you have any type of inconvenience that are coming up in your life, and for some reason, I feel like I'm saying this because I feel like you're the type of person that you are like me or used to be like me. When things happen, you automatically beat yourself up like, oh, I'm so stupid. I should have knew better. I shouldn't have did this. And God is like, no, everything is happening for a reason. Everything has a purpose. And so in order to become the magician, in order to become the alchemist of our life, we don't need everything to be okay, but we need to be able to remain balanced in any inconvenience and be able to attract the experience that we want. And the way that we do that is by taking simple approaches, by being content, and by maintaining our balance and at being the high priestess of our life, and asking ourselves at any time, okay, who am I really? What decision is best for me? It's not about other people. Don't worry about what people think is right or wrong, because honestly, after I sent my brother that message, I was like, dang, he probably think I'm a dumbass, but it don't even matter. I really genuinely, when I sent him that message, I really genuinely believe that, like, hey, look, I know we starting to move on up like the Jeffersons, and this is what we need to know about international travel. We got to have immigration forms and all of that good stuff. So anyway, so also, I am transformed. I see the beauty of change. Everything I have been through transformed me into who I am today. I am so much braver. I am so much caring. I am so much more emotionally intelligent. I am so much more open, and I will continue changing and improving. I am transformed. And I'm just going to leave it at that. This is what God is saying. We are at the embodiment stage. This is so fucking exciting, y'all. Like, because I ain't lying. I'm not lying. I'm gonna link y'all to Mama Moon, because after I take her course, I'm about to be in this bitch like a fucking X-Men. Like I'm for real, y'all. This is such a fucking exciting time. Like, I honestly don't feel like human evolution has ever been at where we are. We are literally in this bitch manipulating time, rewriting timelines in real time. In real fucking time. So I'm just gonna leave y'all with that message. So I don't care what goes up from here to the rest of the year. Whenever anything goes wrong, try your best to remain okay. Try your best to stay level-headed and to see the beauty and the silver lining of the situation, because that is how you become the true alchemist of your life, and that's how you use the power of the high priestess. All right, y'all. That's all the messages I have for you. If you made it to the end of the message, please give me a thumbs up. If you made it to the end of this message or not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Until we meet again, dream those dreams. Never let the internet rush you, and never, ever, ever let someone tell you what you cannot do. You guys wish me safe travels. I'm going to try to upload this video, but if not, you may just get it when I get back. I want to do like a couple of videos while I'm there, so I may just take like a couple of cards. So it'll be between us. All right, y'all. I love you guys. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.